The news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
On the news this afternoon, protest by youths from Eleme Ogoni over bad state of Eleme Road continues today. Protesters accuse Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs Godswill Akpabio of withholding money meant for construction of Eleme Road. Communicate by PDP Governors Forum generates comments on the foreign scene U.S. forces to end combat mission in Iraq by the end of this year. I am Ifiemi Andrew. Youths from Eleme and Ogoni have continued their protest over the bad state of Eleme Road. A journalist in Port Harcourt, Ndume Green, says the protest on the Eleme axis of the East-West Road will continue until there is a positive response from the federal government. Mr. Green, who spoke as a guest on the Morning Crossfire today, also clarified the issue of protesters stabbing tires of heavy-duty trucks.
Some of those tanker drivers heard of the information that there will be a protest. They wanted to move, and then they were caught up in the traffic. So there are trucks carrying very heavy equipment and materials. So if you stand on the tire for so long, your tire will fall. You cannot touch somebody's property now. It's a peaceful protest. Don't touch persons. Don't touch their properties. They are carrying very heavy metals and material from the seaport and everywhere. We are going to see what we can do to contribute money and buy like 2-3 goats, put a canopy there, bring mortar piece, and we will be there to, and because nobody will bring food for us there, we will be there to cook and eat.
While explaining what prompted the protest and blocking of the road, he also questioned the sincerity of the federal government towards developing the region.
What actually pushed out to the road right now is that we discovered that in 2018, President Buhari graciously removed that road from the Ministry of Niger Delta and gave it to Presidential Infrastructural Development Fund, PIDF. PIDF is constructing the Kano-Abuja road, upgraded from 155 billion to over 900 billion. PIDF is constructing the Lagos-Ibadan road at the cost of over 600 billion. PIDF is constructing the second Niger bridge. So if PIDF is using Niger Delta money to build 900 billion road from Kano to Abuja that does not carry anything apart from human being and cow, Lagos-Ibadan road, the money comes from here. Why must we beg you to even give us a button from our shirt?
Mr. Green also accused the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Godswill Akpabio, of withholding money meant for the construction of the road.
We heard that Akpabio went to the people to pay the money to his ministry, that he will pay the contractors. And the people say, no, we pay money directly to contractors so that they can work. That's why they are working day and night. That's why the Niger bridges or the speed lane. Akpabio now wrote to take back the road to his ministry. A ministry that does not have one kobo. Amechi is borrowing money wherever he's borrowing from to build railway across the country. Fashola is getting money to build 800 roads. Akpabio has never built 1 kilometer road in a territory that needs road more than anything else. Wearing Agbada, when I go to NGDC office. What is that? So enough is enough of that nonsense.
Some residents at the venue of the protest also spoke on the program.
Over 500 persons are gathered here. The road, the intersections leading to the main road have all been barricaded with trailers numbering about 15 to 20.
The protest should be total blockade of that road because the federal government has taken us for a ride for a long time. I always call the federal government anytime using that road. And look at where they're telling our money to. It is unacceptable.
Meanwhile, the spokesperson of the River State Civil Society Organization, Solomon Lenny, who is among the protesters, while stating their demands, wondered why the federal government is not taking the construction of the road seriously.
The demands are very simple. construct the east-west road, the Ogoni section of the east-west road from Eleme Junction down to Trailer Park to the level it should be. This is by no small means, one of the hubs of the economic activity of Nigeria. For over the years, this road has been in a deplorable condition to a level that currently as we speak, across the country, there is massive infrastructural development in road construction particularly. But one will wonder why the particular road upon which 40% arguably of the economic life of this country, where it's passing through, is left in the state of deploration as it is.
A social commentator in Rivers State, Lovedale Okere, says the youths and people of Eleme and Ogoni should be commended for coming out to protest the bad state of the road. In an interview with our correspondent, Mr. Okere called on citizens in other parts of the country that need government attention to copy what the people of Eleme and Ogoni are doing.
I want to give kudos. I want to commend the people of Ogoni Aziz, including Eleme and Ogoni communities, for taking the bull by the horn, for rising to the occasion to speak up despite their political differences, their religious differences. It is expected, and I pray that other parts of the state within Nigeria should emulate. We are a community or an area that has more than 8 local governments producing to the nation has been abandoned.
He also questioned the sincerity of the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Godswill Akpabio, in carrying out projects in the region.
I want to ask the Minister for Niger Delta, what actually is his duty as a Minister of the Federation? Because as at the last count, I can never remember, except I am told now, I can never remember where I can vividly point out one project that has been executed by the Ministry of Niger Delta, from Bayelsa to Cross River, from Ondo to Rivers, from Abia to Delta, from Edo to Akwa Ibom. The only time you can hear of the Minister Akpabio speaking is when it has to do with NDDC. And to the best of my knowledge, NDDC has its own budget, different from that of the Ministry of Niger Delta. So it is something that everybody within Niger Delta should begin to ask questions what is happening.
Moving on, Governor Nyesom Wike has advised the officers of the Nigerian Army against partisanship in the discharge of their duties. Governor Wike spoke when the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, led other senior Army officers on a courtesy visit to the Government House in Port Harcourt. He assured the military of his administration's support.
We have to protect life and property. Where can I go? It is for me to give support to the security agencies to make sure that the protection of life and property, to protect our national assets. That's what it's supposed to be. But the moment we defeat, blame politics, then there's a problem.
Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, led other senior Army officers on the courtesy visit. On his part, he said, I beg your pardon. On his part, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, who was in the States to launch the 6th Division of the Nigerian Army Support Combat Training, urged the governor to continue his support for the Army.
And as usual, only to ask you, Your Excellency, not to relent, but indeed to even improve on them. And I know you have the capability, the will to also do that. So I want, on behalf of General Sakaman and all of us, request you to continue in that drive. Among other things, I know he has informed me of the promise to provide him with even additional gun boat 5 you mentioned. And when His Excellency say he will, he will.
A magistrate court sitting in Port Harcourt has remanded a 19-year-old boy, Sunday Samuel, for impregnating a 13-year-old girl. Master Samuel was remanded after the girl told the court that the young man is her boyfriend and she is 4 months pregnant for him. The man was arraigned on Monday by the Human Rights Desk of the Rivers State Police Command for having carnal knowledge of the girl. Our correspondent reports that Chief Magistrate Gomba Osaro adjourned the case to August 16 for consideration of bail after the accused pleaded not guilty. Still ahead, Bermuda becomes the least populous nation ever to win an Olympic gold. Stay tuned.
You no longer have to miss any moment of the action. Listen to us from anywhere in the world. Download the Nigeria Info FM app from your app store. Tap the menu bar on the top left corner of your screen, select Port Harcourt, and listen to your #1 news, talk, and sports radio station. 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Following the recent 10-point communique by the PDP Governors Forum, a political analyst and social commentator in Rivers State, Loveday Okere, says the federal government should not just ignore the points raised by the PDP, but rather hold a meeting and see how some of those issues can be addressed as soon as possible. In an interview with our correspondent, Mr. Okere called on the ruling APC not to look at the communique from the PDP governors as political.
The question is, all these issues that they raise, including security of life and properties, are they really issues touching on Nigeria's economy? The answer is yes. So the issues they raise should not be looked at as the political issues, but as issues that the ruling party should go back. In fact, if I were the ruling party today, how is someone emergency meeting of the APC to think about all these things that has been raised? Because the country is being driven to the extinction.
He also commended the PDP Governors Forum for issuing the communique, describing it as timely.
I want to also commend the Governors Forum of People Democratic Party for actually rising up to play the actual role of opposition in the nation. What they have done is what any opposition can do in a country. And any country that is without opposition, we always be thinking that all is well. So I implore the ruling party led by President Muhammad Buhari to summon an emergency meeting of, if not a member of the political party, at least appointees and chief executives of various arms.
Recall that the chairman of the PDP Governors Forum, Aminu Tambuwal, at the end of its meeting in Bauchi, urged the NCC and other service providers to ensure that universal access and service of information and communication technology is provided before the 2023 general elections, among other demands.
The governors identified with the need for a free, fair, and credible elections in the country and called on the National Assembly to entrench electronic transmission of results of elections in the nation's electoral jurisprudence. The meeting requested Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), the only body empowered by the Constitution to conduct elections, to deploy appropriate technologies necessary to ensure that the votes of every Nigerian is counted are meant to count. The meeting further called on the National Communications Commission, especially the Universal Service Provision Fund.
In business, the Water Producers Association of Nigeria and Association of Table Water Producers of Nigeria and Rivers State have commended the efforts of the State Ministry of Water Resources in ensuring that residents of the state have access to potable drinking water. The association, in a statement, said the recent clampdown of some sachet water factories in Diob area of Port Harcourt by the ministry will ensure sanity in the water production business in the state. In entertainment, Peace has emerged as the winner of the first head of house task at the ongoing Big Brother Naija Season 6 reality show. The 26-year-old River State indigene emerged winner after scoring the highest point during the head of house task. She picked Joseph as her deputy. In sports, Great Britain's Georgia Taylor-Brown produced a superb run to earn an Olympic medal in the women's triathlon. This victory was also significant for Bermuda, which became the least populous nation ever to win an Olympic gold.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
U.S. President Joe Biden says U.S. forces will end their combat mission in Iraq by the end of this year, but will continue to train and advise the Iraqi military. The announcement came after Mr. Biden held talks with Iraqi Prime Minister Mustafa al-Kahimi at the White House. There are currently 2,500 U.S. troops in Iraq helping local forces counter what remains of the Islamic State group. Numbers of U.S. troops are likely to stay the same, but the move is being seen as an attempt to help the Iraqi Prime Minister. On the news this afternoon, you heard that protest by youths from Eleme and Ogoni over the bad state of the Eleme Road has continued. The protesters have accused the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Godswill Akpabio, of withholding money meant for the construction of the Eleme Road. The communique by the PDP Governors Forum is generating comments. On the foreign scene, you heard that the U.S. forces will end its combat mission in Iraq by the end of this year. The news is edited by Martha Okere. Contact our newsroom on 0818-900-0017. Partly sunny weather expected in Port Harcourt this afternoon. I am Ifiemi Andrew. Thank you for your time and enjoy your day.
Business,
agriculture, politics,
entertainment,
health, education.